Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Prince from ProLead Consultants. I'm working as a mechanical engineer for the past few years with ProLead. So today we are here in the Tevmo webinar to share our experience on running the software in the Tevmo plugin software. Yeah. So as an MEP consultant, we ProLead are introduced to a new Revit plugin software named Tevmo, designed for cooling load calculation for all types of building in Revit. So basically, as an MEP consultant, we are currently working with Carrier HAP software to obtain the cooling load calculations. So it was a great opportunity for us to understand this plugin software, how much it will differ from how the way we work in HAP. So I will share a few of my experiences on that. Prior to that, how we have did our first run of the plugin software is basically based on the manual videos shared by the Tevmo team. So we have selected one of our ongoing project in Revit, which is a G plus podium plus 5 residential building. And one thing what I have observed is like basically the inputs are being taken in from the Revit. So the Tevmo Revit plugin software will be very user friendly for the engineers who used to work in Revit, though it can be managed by the ones who are not much familiar with Revit also. Basically, I am not much a Revit professional, but I managed to run through the plugin software and obtain the cooling load calculations. So I can share few of my observations and key points which I have seen in this demo. So one of the main key points of this demo plugin is the building envelope input parameters like external and internal wall areas, all the fenestration window areas, building roofs, floors, identifying the internal spaces like bedroom, living spaces, common areas, all will be taken automatically from the Revit by the software. So that is a great advantage for the designers for the cooling load calculation, because basically the user's interference on collecting this information, the building envelope informations, is very less from the Revit file, which is a great advantage. Basically, why I say, because as a HAP user, I spend around like 18 to 20 hours a 20 hours of time to do the same kind of a project only on the building envelopes, which is the main parameters for the cooling load calculation. For which here I need to spend around, as it's my first run, like I had to spend around like half an hour to 1 hour, which is really a time saving and a really quick. So I appreciate that. And it automatically detect the corner spaces and also display the shafts, as rightly Victor said in his presentation. But again, what I have found is like it was detecting the balconies also as a space, which may be the corruption from the architectural Revit file. Again, we may have to manually delete those balcony spaces, but it's very few, maybe one or two balcony. I found like one or two balcony spaces were considered as a space, which I manually deleted from the space option given in the Revit in the plugin software. Sorry. So that a Tevmo team has to work on that. Again, another key point I have observed in the during the run is like the internal load inputs such as lighting load, equipment load, number of people, set point temperature, basically the characteristics of the room, internal loads. So in Revit, we need to punch in these numbers as normally we do in HAP. But what is the advantage I have found is like we can the internal load inputs for all the typical spaces for all the apartments can be punched in one go. It's a big advantages of the software. Basically, if you most of them are doing calculations in HAB, you may be knowing that for a typical apartments, all the living rooms or all the bedrooms will be having the same input parameters, right? The internal load input parameters. For instance, if it's a bedroom, all the bedrooms for all the apartments will be having the same lighting load, same equipment load, or even same number of people we are considering as per ASHRAE. In HAP, we need to go one by one. We need to plug in or like we have to punch in all the numbers individually to all the spaces. Whereas here it's uh, it's with the help of Revit, like we can select all the typical spaces like bedrooms, and we can punch in all these numbers in one go, so that the Revit plugin software can intake these to the for obtaining the cooling load calculation. That feature, which is not available in the app, seems to be very impressive in plugin software from Tevmo. Then comes the show energy analysis model option. So this is a very basic feature which you can available in Revit also. But what is advantage is like we we will be having a fast construction energy model to validate that all the building envelopes we have considered in this project are taken into the calculation or not, because the user engineer get an overall idea of the building envelopes like walls, windows, slabs with proper color indication, and cross check and make sure that all these parameters are considered. Basically, in HAP, we don't have this kind of a feature. For instance, if there is like 590 or 600 apartments, and there will be like multiply by two or three number of windows, there will be like 1,200, windows will be there for one project. So there are easy chances that we could miss two or three windows in this project. But whereas when we are working with Thermo plugin software, what I have observed is like this particular feature, show energy analysis model feature, will clearly indicate how much windows you have selected, or which from this picture itself on the left corner, from which we can understand that which windows we have missed out. So in this ongoing project, which is a live project in Dubai, all those red are the windows, and all those blue are the curtain walls, which is covering up in the retail spaces, and so as double height spaces in the ground floor. So this feature seems to be very impressive, and which reduces the mistakes happens in terms of taking the building envelopes. And coming to the final output files, the cooling load calculation outputs, and it can be generated in a normal standard Excel format. Okay, with an easy demonstration of the total cooling load summary for the building. It's all about, after obtaining the cooling load calculation, we have to just push this button, which is available in the plugin software, which is download cooling load Excel report, which rightly shown by Victor on his presentation, will give you a Excel report in the format which is being given on the bottom. It is really convincing and well formatted, I should say. So the we could easily access the total airflow, the sensible load, total TR of the entire project from this. So as we will be having the individual system summaries as well, which I'm not put it over here in this presentation, but it is still available. So this is the particular Excel format. This is the output cooling load output summary generated for the the first run like pilot project which we have executed. I can show you the comparison sheet between what we ProLead has done with HAP and what the result we have got with the Thermo plugin software. On the left, if you see in the blue, which is a HAP cooling load summary, is being calculated from ProLead, and we have uh, come across 184 TR supply load for this entire project. Whereas when I've been trying with this Thermo plugin software, the same software output results comes around like 181 TR, which seems to be very close to our have calculated load, in which we spend a lot of hours, whereas here we didn't spend that much hours. Like it's very quick and fast. So the difference of the total cooling load summary is very less and almost the same, with a plus or minus 5% difference of each system I'm speaking, like individual FCUs. In terms of FCUs, if you look into it, it will be having plus or minus 5% of difference, which can be which is okay, which is negotiable. Like again, which is to be looked forward by the Thermo team to improve. So coming to the conclusions, so as per the result obtained for the first run, that the building envelope inputs computed and taken, it seems to be Very correct. And Thermo team have to do further studies for implementing the software into the market with local complaints and authority approval. As all of us know that HAP is approved by the DM, by municipality. So it's that implementation of the software with approval from authority. It's a big task for the Thermo team. And accuracy of this HVAC plugin software, we have checked with one of our live projects. So the same to be checked at different levels of projects to validate the correctness of the software, like different applications like retail jobs, maybe a mall project, high-rise buildings, and hotel projects, which we have not carried out. So that is all to be validated for the correctness of the software. And to reach to all the beginners of the software, a well organized step-by-step tutorial manuals to be prepared from the Tevmo team, so as everyone can access and experience this plugin software. So that's it. Thank you.